Mechanics of writing. Writing a research report is considered a major component of the research study, for the research task remains incomplete till the report has been presented and written. As a matter of fact, even the most brilliant hypothesis, highly well designed and conducted research study, and the most striking generalizations and findings are of little value unless they are effectively communicated to others. The purpose of research is not well served unless the findings are made known to others. Research results must invariably enter the general store of knowledge. All this explains the significance of writing research report. There are people who do not consider writing of report as an integral part of the research process, but the general opinion is in favor of treating the presentation of research results or the writing of report as part and parcel of the research project. Writing of report is the last step in a research study and requires a set of skills somewhat different from those called for in respect of the earlier stages of research. In case of research in languages, we use MLA style. We have the latest edition of MLA handbook, 8th one. The first task of a researcher is to select a topic in which he or she can have a freedom of choice, and the topic will be finalized by finding an appropriate focus. In case of any research, uncompromised reading is very necessary. We can make use of information technology to acquire knowledge. Related to that, Boolean search is important, where you search using the operations like and, or, not. For example, if you want to know the details of the novel Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison, you can type Invisible Man, not H.G. Wells, because H.G. Wells too has written a novel with the same title. You start your work with a working bibliography, which will be changing as your work proceeds. You may add, you may delete works as per its importance. At the end, that will be evolved into list of works cited. You'll be transforming your working bibliography into work cited, which is the last part of your dissertation. In order to start your work, you will have to prepare a working outline we call blueprint, which will help you to move smoothly up to the end of your work. It is very important that you have a hypothesis or an assumption. No hypothesis, no research. There are two elements that decide your hypothesis. One is purpose. What is the purpose of your study? Whether to describe something, explain, argue, or to persuade. An audience. Who are the audience? Whether specialist groups or general public. Based on that, you can frame a hypothesis. This is how labeling is done in a blueprint. 1. First point. 1.1. First subpoint of first main point. 1.2. 1.3. 2 is second main point. 2.1. First subpoint under the second main point. Likewise, it goes. And when you write, you can develop each point into a paragraph. Research reports are the products of slow, painstaking, accurate inductive work. The usual steps involved in writing report are logical analysis of the subject matter, preparation of the final outline, preparation of the rough draft, rewriting and polishing, preparation of the final work cited, and writing the final draft. It is advised to use Google Doc instead of MS Office to type your material. If you use Google Doc, you will be able to access from anywhere You'll be able to edit very easily and also share with your supervisor or guide. Moreover, you won't face any problem when the platform changes from Windows to Ubuntu or to Macintosh. This is a serious crime in the case of research, namely plagiarism, literary theft, stealing others' ideas without acknowledging. In the case of plagiarism, there are exceptions like basic biography, dates of historical event, etc. There are some points to be remembered in the case of research being a work of scholarship. How do you organize and develop the ideas? Whether there is coherence of presentation, sentence structure, grammar, diction, such linguistic aspects, capitalization, spelling, punctuation. There should be consistency in spelling. When you use foreign words, you can use that in italics. Normally, people prefer two parts for the title. In between the two parts, you can have either semicolon or colon, but the meaning is different. If you use semicolon, that means the two parts are independent because we use semicolon between independent clauses. While you use colon between the two parts, the second part is a continuation of the first part, or the first part creates a sense of anticipation of what follows the second. Unlike the normal form of brackets, we use square bracket in research, which denotes a level of subordination. You can see that in the example. If you use a comment or an explanation inside a quotation mark, that must appear in square brackets. When you use name of the person while you write, only at the first time you can use the full name. In the subsequent cases, you use only the most common form of the name, like in the example, Gustav Flaubert. That way you can use at the beginning, but later only Flaubert. Do not use formal titles like Mr., Miss, Sir, Doctor, etc. You can use pen name of the writers, which is acceptable, like George Eliot, pen name of Mary Ann Evans, Mark Twain, pen name of Samuel Clemens. In the case of the title of works, you have the freedom to shorten. First use a full title, then you can use a shortened form. For example, Ode to Nightingale, instead you can use Nightingale. All is well that ends well. In subsequent cases, you can use AWW. When you record centuries, you may spell out in lowercase. To use the title of a work in your research, you can get it from the title page. Use the title always in sentence case. You can capitalize each word like noun, pronoun, verb, but never capitalize articles, prepositions, conjunctions, to in infinitive. If there is a subtitle for your title, you can use a colon and a space. Names of the works that come in your title should be italicized, like names of books, plays, poems, etc., with the exceptions of the names of scriptures. You should not italicize names of scriptures. Thank you.